we use cameras and machine learning analytics and the software that we develop in-house to identify objects, specifically vehicles, as they're moving into or out of parking assets.
Hello and welcome everyone to another Parking Network video. Today I'm joined by Chris from EnSight. Chris, how are you doing?
Doing fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for joining. So as a new member of Parking Network, I'd love to hear, what does EnSight do? Could you provide a brief introduction to the company and yourself, please?
Yeah, so I'm Chris Shepman. I'm one of the co-founders and the managing member of EnSight Technologies. And at EnSight, we are a software technology company that specializes in vision systems to track, scan, and count cars, delivering solutions for garages, surface lots, traffic studies to identify vehicles and traffic flows into and out of parking assets, to enable parkers to better understand through very accurate machine learning AI-based vision technologies as to what is the best parking locations for the parkers, and then taking that data, understanding the metrics of how cars are moving, where cars are going, to present that business intelligence to parking asset owners.
Okay, so what is this EnSight ecosystem?
So the EnSight ecosystem, we built what we call a smart, simple, and scalable solution. Everything starts with our vision system. So at the core of our ecosystem, we use cameras and machine learning analytics and the software that we develop in-house to identify objects, specifically vehicles, as they're moving into or out of parking assets. And within our ecosystem, we have a number of modules. Since we do use cameras, those cameras not only identify the traffic movement, the counting of the vehicles between various entry exit points, level changes of the garages, zones within surface lots or garages themselves, and that data is then passed to digital signage to enable parkers to understand where are the best locations to park. But since we are using cameras, we wholeheartedly believe that vision systems are the wave of the future, not only with the advent of machine learning and AI technology to very accurately identify objects, but with cameras, it's really the eyes to the operation. So we leverage that to understand what's going on. We could layer on surveillance modules. So as we are providing parking occupancy management systems to our clients, those cameras can naturally be turned on and tuned for surveillance, so increased security. Those cameras, what we believe is, the unique identifier of understanding the unique traits of vehicles, so license plate, color, make, model, all of those important characteristics of the vehicle and the unique identifiers could provide, paramount value to our clients to understand not only how many cars are moving where and what are the traffic flow patterns, but identify actually who is going into your parking asset. So we have cameras, we have signage, we have surveillance modules, license plate recognition. We have an open API platform. So all the data and analytics that we collect, inherently we could connect to third-party applications, whether that's for cities to pass over these traffic and parking asset metrics to larger platforms to be a part of that, smart city ecosystem. And really it's built in a way where we have clients that are very small, have very small garages or surface lots, but then by layering on cameras and additional signage at key entry, exit, key decision points for parkers, it's very simple to bolt on these modules to scale it, as granular as the client wants. So we really got our start, and the reason why we spun up EnSight Technologies was because, traditionally when you're counting vehicles, there was really two different options. There was, your very entry-level system, which was inductive loop sensors, ultrasonic sensors in the ceiling to count cars as they move in or out. So that was kind of like your base entry system. And then you had the full scaled operation of lights, sensors, single space cameras, for those larger enterprise type clients like airports or casinos. And what we found was on the entry level systems, inductive loops or ultrasonic sensors inherently, um, well, one, they're inexpensive, and so when things are quite inexpensive, really attractive entry point price to that. But the value of the system as traffic picked up or occupancy of a particular location was reaching peaks, the technology was inherently inaccurate. So although you saved a lot of money investing in these technologies, it actually didn't provide any value when you actually needed it. On the flip side of that, you then had the lights, the sensors, the single space systems that are very expensive. So there's kind of a void in the middle of how do you provide a flexible, scalable, and modular system that's very intelligent, accurate, but at a price point that's reasonable for the masses. And so our history, we had a software company that we deployed vision systems internationally for ports and intermodal facilities globally. So we're in 14 countries worldwide where we put up cameras to track containerized cargo as it went into ports or intermodal facilities globally. And when we sold that software company, we came into the parking business, and I have a dealer VAR company here local to Southern California and Arizona. Everyone wanted to track, scan, and count cars. But as I mentioned earlier, you had an entry-level system or a very expensive system. Most people couldn't afford the very expensive system. And then when you deployed the entry-level systems with loops, it was inaccurate. So I called up our software developers and our product team after we sold the business, said, hey, we tracked and scanned containerized cargo on a global scale using vision systems. Why don't we take that technology and create an ecosystem using vision and the advent of machine learning AI, which is the latest platform for vision technology, to provide a solution that is not only cost effective, but very smart, accurate, and intelligent to provide the technology for the many and not the few. So that's kind of our slogan, is we want intelligent technology that could be deployed for the masses and not technology that is either very expensive, so you only have a small percentage of that market that can invest, or put in systems that, were inexpensive and just aren't smart. So that's how we launched EnSight Technologies. The company was founded at the tail end of 2018, with the pandemic, of course, all of us in parking understand the ramifications there. So in earnest, in business for the last, 2.5 to 3 years now, and getting a ton of traction in many different market verticals.
So, what are those verticals then? And where would you say is the focus for the company where you stand out?
So when we launched it, as I mentioned, our slogan is providing technology for the many and not the few. So really is applicable to any market vertical, and we've successfully penetrated most of those. So university campuses, corporate campuses, mixed use, retail and malls. We just landed our first airport, so the Boise Airport will be leveraging our technology to provide accurate data for the airport, but not investing in the single space technology. So we're really tapped into all these market verticals. Anyone who is interested in understanding what are their traffic flow metrics, providing valuable data to their parkers as to where to go to optimize that traffic flow, but also mine that business intelligence of understanding where people are going, how much time they're spending at those locations. And then when we bolt on things like our EnSight plates or license plate recognition module, we can get more granular down to the point of who's parking, taking those unique identifiers and integrating them with solutions for digital frictionless payment, in addition to driving occupancy management and traffic flow data.
So I have one last question for you. You've already hit on quite a lot of interesting topics. You mentioned 14 countries. Where would you say then you really succeeded and where you're really growing?
Yeah, so that was our prior software company called APS Technology Group, where we're tracking and scanning cargo. Currently, at APS or at EnSight Technologies, we're laser focused on the U.S. market. We've gotten our first few accounts in Canada, and we are having conversations for deployments in Australia and Europe. But right now, our current footprint, we're in 14 states in the US, and then a couple deployments going on in Canada currently.
Well, Chris, then wish you all the best with development and then growth in the US market. And good luck.
I appreciate that. Thank you. We're excited.
Thank you for joining today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And thank you everyone for watching as well, and hope to catch you guys on the next one.